in East Hampton Village DRB. You are live.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Design Review Board. I call to order the Design Review Board for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. And I would like to extend a welcome to our newest board member, and we welcome you, Kate Davis. Welcome to the Design Review Board.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. The first item on the agenda are the minutes of January 3rd, 2023. Do I have any questions or corrections? Anyone? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
I give a motion.
Cheryl, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Amy. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. The next item on our agenda is 44 Woods Lane, the Jewish Center of the Hamptons. Is the applicant present? Welcome. And if you could just go to the podium, introduce yourself and give us an explanation of what you would like to do.
Sure.
Thank you.
Alex Balsam for the Jewish Center. So we're proposing to do a pavilion, I guess you could call it, out back behind the current sanctuary. What drove the desire for this was obviously COVID and maybe doing services outdoors when seasonally appropriate. This would not create any more traffic to the sanctuary. I mean, it's for the members, and it would be used in place of the sanctuary at times, not in addition to. It's designed to, look similar to the design of the sanctuary, and the wood that would be used it could certainly be stained to any color that it would need to be, but the idea is that it's a lighter wood, again, similar to how the sanctuary was built.
It would be great if you could get the beautiful Alaskan white cedar that you have on the inside, because that's gorgeous.
Actually, that was
Yeah,
one
that's
of the
good wood.
two woods that are possibly,
Spec.
by
Okay.
the architect.
Okay. I noticed on the verticals, which looks great because it takes off from the Norman Jaffe design on the interior. Is that glass or plexiglass, the vertical? It looks like glass. Am I correct?
Glass here.
Yes. Right. And it looks like it's sectioned in 3 panels. Am I correct?
That I don't know. The architect wanted to be here, but he was away this week, so
Okay.
Great. I defer to him on that, but
Great.
he did provide us with these renderings.
Looks quite beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you put the renderings in front of the podium so the audience can see?
Yeah, I think you have to put a chair there.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Maybe if you put the chair in front of the podium and each one on a separate chair. Ah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that one
Thank you.
doesn't show.
Thank you very much. Okay. And
Alex Bluedorn is here from LaGuardia.
Okay.
He can speak to the landscaping that's proposed and the lighting.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
Alex Bluedorn, landscape architect. So the landscape is very simple, really, to honor the pavilion as much as possible. Basically, we're just proposing a grove of sweet bay magnolias, which is a native magnolia that flowers about in June with a nice lemon scent, and underplanted with mostly Pachysandra. And around the foundations of the existing Jewish Center and some of the sheds, we're proposing winter gem boxwood, just a low evergreen hedge. So all of these plants we chose mainly because the deer don't eat them, and we all know that how many deer there are in this neighborhood. So we chose plants that would be evergreen, look good year round, create a nice seasonal interest in the summertime when this is probably going to get used the most. And then lastly, we have an evergreen hedge along that back property line, that northern property line where that driveway exists, which would be, we were thinking Great Western Arborvitae, or something along those lines that would create a nice evergreen backdrop to the whole landscape and give some of the neighbors some privacy from the congregation and the people that use the pavilion when it's being used.
Great. Thank you. Board members, any questions?
Where you're adding that hedgerow in the back of the property, what is existing right there? Is there any hedge there right
Yeah,
now?
there's a very sparse privet hedge back there now that's been mostly shaded out over time. So the idea is to remove that existing hedge, which is mostly sticks now, limb up some of the trees that are pretty overgrown, and then plant the 10-foot arborvitae down low.
Okay.
Would there be a fence that would be added on there?
We weren't proposing a fence. We were just going to let the evergreens do their thing. There is a break on center with the pavilion, so that some of the neighbors, including the rabbi, would be able to pass through.
Oh, great.
So it wouldn't be
Well, there is a
a
stop.
wall, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could see it.
Yep.
Thank you.
There is a stock fence
Yeah.
on the back there.
Shows that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And you'll discuss the lighting also?
Sure. Landscape lighting. That we're proposing, I don't know if it's maybe a little difficult to see, but they're the yellow circles on the drawing. Those are all path lights, really. So it's really very minimal wayfinding, low path lights to illuminate the pathways.
Do you have a photograph of the
Yeah, it should be
actual
on-
light?
On the drawing.
I think it's on the, it's on the plan.
It's on the last page, I believe.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Looks like a little L.
So
It's an L
just
stick.
a-
Yep. So they're very, very minimal. And just really there to provide low light down low.
And they're sort of Lightalia fixtures, Lightalia?
Yeah, well, they're LED fixtures, about
LED.
18 inches tall.
Right, okay.
So yeah,
And it's a downlight, so.
and it's a downlight. Yep.
And will it be in the warm zone, like
2,700 K.
2,700 K,
Yep.
right, okay. Okay, perfect,
Yeah, the idea is to match the color of the sanctuary.
okay. Any other questions? Billy, any questions you may have?
No, I could just offer some comments for the board.
Oh, please do so.
Good morning, Billy Hajak for the Village of East Hampton. So this is as the board is probably aware, it's a special permit use property. It's the church facility. And as part of the review, the design review board has to conduct your informal or cursory review. There's an application pending before the zoning board for the issuance of the special permit. And for the relief that's required, there are some setback relief provisions that have to be created in order to fit the structure in this location. And that application is pending. So this is your cursory review. I would note that the setback from the rear yard, which is the variance that they're seeking, it was indicated that that property behind, there's a common driveway on the north side of the property. So you're affecting a common driveway. And then beyond that is property that's, owned by the church.
Okay,
So, I mean, in terms of the overall layout and the
That's all
architectural
you have.
design, I think the chairman hit it on the head. They kind of mimic the Jaffe style,
Mhm.
So it's a nice looking building. But I don't have any substantial comment other than that.
And how much over the setback is it? What do you know
So
what
the required setback is
20 feet, I believe.
It is a 55-foot setback, and they're proposing it 25 feet from the property line. I believe it's 55, 50 or like 50. It's a 50-foot setback, 20, so it's about a 50% variance. There is a minor coverage variance, but I note that they're removing a substantial amount of patio in connection with this. So they're sort of removing patio, rearranging it, and it's about an 800 square foot increase in patio space. So in the transitional yard, The code does require screening within that area, so they're proposing the evergreen hedge, which could accommodate that. When the zoning board reviews this, if they feel that additional screening is required, they can impose other conditions in terms of fencing, or this board could as well in their rights to require that as well.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The house behind is, the home behind is owned by the synagogue, or? Yes.
That's my understanding.
And then there's not another property, it's just the single property, or is there?
There's at least two properties. The property immediately, so directly behind it is owned by the synagogue. I think if you go a little bit to the west, that's a private single-family residence. I would imagine the synagogue has reached out to the neighbors, but perhaps Alex can, add to that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Tom Parado, any questions? Okay.
No, thank you. Chairman, members of the board. No, I think Billy pretty much
Okay.
summarized it.
Okay.
I don't
Thank
have
you.
any other concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex, did you?
Billy's correct. The directly behind is owned by the Jewish Center. The rabbi lives there.
Mhm.
The Jewish Center also owns the property directly to the east along Woods Lane. There is another neighbor in between there, I'd say east of the rabbi's house. We've reached out to her. I think I can share that I expect that she's going to sign a letter of support for the project.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you all. Okay, board members, any other questions?
Well, it's within
Cheryl?
the building envelope. And I don't think it won't be seen really from the street
Mhm.
of Montauk Highway.
Right, it's
Yeah.
true.
But quite a project.
Design-wise, it's in keeping with the building, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we all know, Norman Jaffe did such a beautiful job on the design of the synagogue, which is quite stunning. If you haven't been inside, you should definitely go in and look at it. It's great. Okay, any other questions? If not, then this concludes our site plan review, and we'll send this preliminary review, and let's send this to the ZBA for consideration.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, thank you all. And this concludes our agenda for today. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, make a motion.
Thank you, Cheryl. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. And